The world will offer you secrets. It will promise you shortcuts. It will present you with lists of facts designed to manipulate and impress, a hollow path for a hollow man. This is not our way. The path of a Stoic is not the path of tricks, it is the path of truth. Today, we do not learn a list of secrets about women. We learn to cultivate a perception so clear, so disciplined, that we can understand the fundamental nature of human connection itself. We will explore 10 pillars of perception, 10 timeless truths that, when understood, will allow you to connect with authenticity and with unshakable strength. This is not about changing who you are. It is about becoming more fully who you were meant to be. Our first and second pillars are built on the primal foundation. We must acknowledge a truth the modern world tries to forget. We are biological beings. We are governed by ancient codes. Consider the power of scent, a primal language that speaks directly to attraction. The amateur hears this and runs to buy a popular cologne, hoping the scent will do the work for him. The Stoic understands a deeper lesson. This is about commanding your own world with intention. It is a form of self-respect. To be in harmony with your nature is to present yourself with care. From the thoughts you cultivate to the very air you carry. This is the first signal of a man who is master of his own domain. Our third and fourth pillars stand upon the virtue of social proof. There is a phenomenon known as preselection, the idea that a man becomes more valuable when he is already valued by others. Again, the amateur seeks a shortcut. He manufactures an image. He performs for an audience, hoping to trick others into seeing him as important. This is a fortress built on sand. The Stoic understands that true social proof is not a tactic to be engineered. It is the unavoidable consequence of a life of virtue. A man who follows a path of purpose naturally builds a rich life. He cultivates genuine friendships. He engages with his community. He is surrounded by people, men and women, not because he needs their validation, but because his life is a source of strength. Do not seek the appearance of value. Seek to be a man of value. The world will recognize it without you having to utter a single word. The next three pillars, the fifth, sixth, and seventh, form the heart of our practice, the language of presence. This is where true mastery is forged. The greatest psychological truth is this: a lasting connection is emotional, not merely physical. The untrained man tries to connect with a woman's body before he has made any attempt to connect with her mind. This is a profound error. The first language of presence is unspoken. It is the discipline of precocious mindful attention. It is the ability to observe her unspoken signals, the subtle shifts in her energy, the meaning behind her eyes. This is not mind reading. It is the result of being fully present. The second language is challenge and play. Teasing, when done from a place of confidence and respect, is not frivolous. It is a test of character, a way to build comfort and trust through shared energy. The third language is the creation of emotional safety. When she feels that her inner world, her thoughts, her fears, her passions is seen and respected by a man who is the unwavering master of his own, an unbreakable bond begins to form. Our eighth and ninth pillars concern the fortress of self. You must be a man who has his own way, not in a manner that is aggressive or dismissive, but in a way that shows you are guided by an internal compass. A man with his own principles, his own purpose, is a mountain. He is stable, reliable. His presence is a sanctuary. This is why you must not enter any connection with the aim of being merely a friend. Your intention must be clear. Not through aggressive pursuit, but through the calm certainty of a man who knows his own path. This integrity is the bedrock of attraction. And finally, our 10th pillar, the test of character. It is easy to be present when things are pleasant. But what happens when she is upset, when she is angry or frustrated? The amateur avoids the storm. The Stoic walks into it. He does not seek to fix her emotions, but to understand them. He offers his unwavering, calm presence as an anchor in her emotional tempest. He demonstrates that he is strong enough to handle not just her beauty, but her chaos. This is the ultimate test of a man's character. To be a source of stability when the world is unstable. These are the 10 pillars. They are not a checklist. They are a discipline, a way of being. Master them, not to impress others, but to become the man you are always meant to be. A man of perception, a man of value, a man of strength. You have learned the pillars of perception. You have begun the work of seeing beyond the surface, of understanding the architecture of human connection. You are learning to build. But the world is not populated solely by those with whom you can build. It is also home to those who would see your fortress crumble for their own gain. Therefore, the same perception you use as a tool to connect, you must now learn to wield as a shield. A Stoic seeks to see the world as it is, not as he wishes it to be. This requires a clear, unflinching gaze, one that can recognize not only virtue, but also its absence. This is not a practice in cynicism, it is a practice in self-preservation. For you cannot protect your inner citadel if you allow every wandering army to encamp within its walls. Today, we do not learn to judge with contempt, we learn to discern with clarity. We will explore the markers of inauthenticity, not to condemn others, but to protect our own peace, our own path to virtue. The first marker is the inconsistent narrative. Observe a person's words over time. A man of virtue, a person of substance, has a story rooted in truth. It may have flaws, it may have moments of shame, but it is a consistent whole. His past is an anchor, not a variable. The inauthentic man, however, builds his life on shifting sand. His stories change to suit his audience. He is a chameleon, altering the color of his past to match the expectations of the present. He forgets the details of his own fabrications, creating a tangled web of contradictions. This is not a simple failure of memory, it is a failure of character. A person whose words are not anchored in reality cannot be trusted to build anything real with you. Your faculty of reason, your logic, is your first line of defense. Listen and remember. The second marker is the transactional connection. Observe why a person seeks connection. A man of virtue seeks connection for mutual respect, for shared growth, for the profound joy of genuine companionship. His relationships are reciprocal. The inauthentic man sees relationships as a resource to be extracted. He is a hollow vessel, always seeking to be filled by the status, the wealth, or the validation of others. He collects people like assets. His flattery is a tool. His charm is a currency. He will ask what you do before he asks who you are. His interactions are broad, but always shallow. He avoids conversations of depth, of fears, of hopes, of struggles, because such conversations offer no immediate utility. When you encounter such a person, you will often feel used, unseen, like a stepping stone on their path to somewhere else. A Stoic must value his own time and energy. Associate with those who enrich your character, not those who seek only to drain your resources. The third, and perhaps most profound marker, is the absence of empathy. The Stoics taught the concept of oikeiosis, the understanding of our shared humanity, the recognition that we are all part of a larger whole. Empathy is the emotional expression of this truth. The inauthentic person lacks this faculty. Their heart is a barren field, incapable of cultivating genuine concern for the struggles of others. They may offer condolences, but their eyes remain empty. They may listen to your pain, but only as a prelude to speaking of their own. They cannot truly celebrate your victories, because another's success feels like a diminishing of their own spotlight. This emotional detachment is a critical red flag. A person who cannot feel for others cannot truly connect with them. A relationship with such a person will always be a one-sided affair, where your needs are consistently ignored. Protect your emotional well-being by recognizing those who are incapable of sharing in it. The final marker is the strings of manipulation. This is the most active form of vice, while the other traits are passive failures of character. Manipulation is a deliberate strategy. A person who manipulates sees others not as human beings, but as puppets. They understand human psychology not to connect, but to control. They will use guilt, charm, coercion, or deception to influence your thoughts and actions for their own personal gain. This is a direct assault on your inner citadel. It is an attempt to hijack your faculty of reason, to make you doubt your own perceptions. They will make you feel responsible for their anger, guilty for their failures, indebted for their hollow kindness. Recognizing this requires constant vigilance. Does this person's presence make you feel confused, anxious? Do you find yourself acting in ways that are inconsistent with your own values to please them? These are the signs that your strings are being pulled. A Stoic's highest duty is to guard his own reason. You must never surrender it to another. Learning to see these signs is not about building walls around your heart. It is about building a gate of which you are the sole keeper. You use your discernment to choose, with wisdom and clarity, who is allowed to enter your life. This is not an act of hostility. It is an act of profound self-respect. You have learned to see the world with clarity. You have learned to guard your inner citadel with a shield of discernment. You can now distinguish substance from shadow and truth from performance. But this perception, this shield, is merely a defense. A life of virtue is not built on defense alone. It must be built upon a foundation of unshakable principle, an internal code that governs every thought, every action, every breath. After learning to see the world, the final and most important task is to build the self, to construct a soul so well fortified, so aligned with nature, that it becomes unconquerable. This is not a list of rules to be memorized. This is the very architecture of a resilient life, drawn from the timeless wisdom of the great Stoic master, Epictetus. This is the code. The first tenet of this code is the foundation of perception. Before you can act rightly, you must first see truly. This begins with the discipline of silence. Epictetus taught that nature gave us 2 ears and only 1 mouth for a reason, that we might listen twice as much as we speak. The fool is in love with the sound of his own voice. The wise man advances by learning from the voices of others. He gathers data, he observes, he understands. This perception is then sharpened by the most profound truth of all. Remember that death awaits. This is not a morbid thought. It is a tool for liberation. The awareness of your own mortality clarifies what is truly important. It burns away the trivial anxieties, the petty grievances, the pursuit of meaningless things, with death as your advisor. You begin to ask the right question: is this a worthy use of my limited, precious time? And finally, you must ground your perception in reality by preparing for failure. The path to excellence is not a straight line. It is a long, arduous process of trial and error. The world may call you a fool for attempting the impossible. Epictetus would say that being labeled a fool is merely the price of admission for growth. You must be willing to fail, to learn, and to rise again, stronger than before. Once your perception is grounded, you must build the inner citadel. This is where the true war is fought and won. The core principle is this: your reactions determine your fate. The world will throw misfortune your way. It is inevitable. But what happens to you is less significant than how you choose to respond to it. Another man's betrayal, a lost fortune, a sudden illness, these things can harm your body or your reputation, but they cannot touch your inner self. Unless you allow them to. You must stop worrying about things beyond your control. Your reputation, the opinions of others, the whims of fortune, these are not yours to command. Your opinions, your judgments, your choices, these are yours and yours alone. Focus your energy exclusively on this domain. Let go of the rest. This is the path to tranquility. Eradicate the poison of guilt. The ordinary man blames others for his failures. The slightly more advanced man blames himself, but the wise man blames no one. He simply observes the error, accepts responsibility for his part, and works to correct it. Guilt is a plague of the spirit. It serves no purpose but to weaken your resolve. From this fortified citadel, you then move to the path of action. How does a man of such discipline act in the world? First, he performs his duties diligently. Like the sun, which rises each day without needing praise, you must fulfill your responsibilities without seeking recognition. Your work matters. Do it well. Second, he invests in simplicity. Luxury and wealth are tempting, but they are often chains in disguise, bringing stress and constant maintenance. A simple life reduces the pressure of obligation and protects your inner peace. Third, he forms alliances with positive individuals. Just as you would avoid a sick man to protect your body, you must be cautious of negative influences to protect your soul. Surround yourself with those who inspire you, who lift you up, who reflect the virtues you wish to cultivate. Your associations will shape your character. And finally, he understands that true wealth lies in a contented spirit. Do not worry about what you lack. Rejoice in what you have. Gratitude is not a passive feeling. It is an active discipline. It is the key to unshakable contentment. This is the code. It is not easy. It is a lifelong practice. A daily battle fought in the silent arena of your own mind. But it is the only battle that truly matters. By embracing these principles, you do not just learn to navigate adversity. You learn to derive value from it. You become a fortress. A source of strength not just for yourself, but for everyone you encounter. You become the unconquerable soul.